Graduate School of Business, University of Pittsburgh. I also have an honorary appointment as Professor of Industrial Engineering. It goes back to my IIT roots, I guess, at the Swanson School of Engineering. And Ashok has been an extraordinarily important partner for me in my Business of Humanity project, which has demonstration sites in India and Pittsburgh. And I'm delighted to be on this group. Thank you, Ashok.
Parsuram?
Thank you. My name is, you can call me Bala Subramanian. 71 BTech and 73 MTech. And after that, I did my doctorate in operations research from Purdue University. I have been most of the time in India in the last 40 plus years, but in between I have spent a few years in Jamaica, West Indies, as well as in US. I'm still continuing my association with both the Alumni
Okay. Can we get some
work?
I think the audio is not clear.
The audio is not clear. I think something has gone wrong. Can we get Ruturaj Bargal? Please, your video is not on. Yeah, can you? Ruturaj?
Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Ruturaj. I am IIT Madras 2016 graduate. I did my BTech and MTech in engineering design from IITM. I see a lot of familiar faces from old IR council here, Jitin, Poojan. Happy to see you all. Glad to connect with Professor Jhunjhunwala when I visited campus in last year, 2022. He introduced me to what research parks 10x goals are. So was right therein going forward, and I volunteered to be the batch representative for 2016.
Thank you. Vishy.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Good morning, etc. I'm a 1972 BTech from IIT Madras, and after a career in different countries, I retired from JP Morgan, came back to in India in 2007. And since then, I've been fortunate to be closely associated with Professor Jhunjhunwala's initiatives and the development of the ecosystem. Currently, I'm based in Chennai, but currently my grandkids in Seattle. So I'm very happy to be associated.
Prabhakar.
Yeah, I'm Prabhakar Raghavan, BTech 1981 in electronics. I work at Google. Really happy to be part of this group and hope to help in any way.
Okay. Ram Mahadevan.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm BTech from 1964 batch in mechanical engineering. I also did my PhD in IIT Madras somewhere in the 90s. I don't remember the year. So I've been associated with the amalgamation group of companies. I sit on the board of some of those companies still, but I'm retired from active day-to-day work.
Great.
So happy to be associated with this initiative once again. I've been associated with the IIT in many ways in the past. And so this is an additional initiative that Professor Jhunjhunwala has stated. Thank you.
Satish Pai, sir.
Yeah, hi, I'm Satish Pai, 1985 mechanical batch. And I run a company called Hindalco, which is into aluminum and copper. Thank you.
Very good. Girija, your Mike.
I'm a retired civil servant of the Tamil Nadu cadre, twice blessed by IIT as I call myself, 81 MSc in physics, and then, as he says, somewhere in the 2011 or 12, a PhD in social sciences. So I'm happy to also be on this group, and I think improve the gender perspective with just 3 of us women as so far seen on this board, and really happy to be part of this initiative.
Preeti Varghese.
Hi, I'm Preeti Varghese. I graduated the BTech in 1984. I have a PhD in neuroscience and I work on human vision. interesting perspective I think I will bring to this group.
Jitin Sam Varghese.
Hi, I'm Jitin. I'm a 2014 BTech and MTech dual degree graduate. Currently I'm a postdoc in the School of Public Health at Emory University in Atlanta, and I have a PhD in public health.
Great. Sumit.
Hi, Sumit Rao, class of 91. Did my BTech from IIT in Chemical Engineering, Master's and PhD from Georgia Tech. Worked in US till 2012 back in India, and currently setting up an India office for a company in Austin.
Okay. I think Satish Pai, did you introduce yourself?
Yes.
Okay, you have already done that.
Yes, I have.
Jaya, you are there in incubation cell. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Jaya. I've been in touch with you for organizing this meeting. I work with Dr. Tamaswati Ghosh and Professor Ashok at the IIT Madras Incubation Cell. This is my 12th year in the incubation cell.
Ram Kumar Dhruva.
Yes, thank you, Professor. I'm Ram Kumar Dhruva, graduated PhD Organic Chemistry 96. I'm with BSF since then. So I am the currently global president for monomers division based out of Belgium, Brussels. Thank you to join this group.
Poojan Patel.
Hello everyone, I'm Poojan Patel. I did my BTech and MTech in civil engineering from IIT Madras, graduated 2018. I'm currently pursuing PhD in civil engineering at Stanford University, and I'm really excited to be part of this group.
Rahul Panikar.
Hi everyone. I got my BTech in electrical engineering, 2002 batch. Hold a PhD in electrical engineering.
I think looks like she was late.
PhD in electrical engineering from Stanford and various startups. Currently cooking up my next startup.
Lalit Chodia.
Hi, I'm Lalit Chodia, 1980 batch chemical engineering. I have a PhD from Carnegie Mellon, and we are in a number of businesses in food, pharmaceutical, energy, and water, all green technologies based out of Pittsburgh.
Great. Sumit, did you introduce yourself? Oh, you did. Okay. Ram Kumar Dhruva also did. Ravi M.
Hi. Good evening. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ravi Mundoli, class of 97, BTech in civil engineering. I have a master's in transportation engineering from UMass Amherst. Came back and co-founded a company which was incubated from the IITM Research Park, which got acquired by Bentley Systems a couple of years back. So now I work as a director of product management at Bentley out of Chennai.
Okay, Shiv Kumar Kalyan Raman.
Hi everyone, this is Shiv Kumar. I am from batch of 93, computer science. I did my PhD from Ohio State. I serve as the CTO for energy industry for Asia in Microsoft.
Umesh Malhotra.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Umesh from the 1990 batch. I did metallurgy. Since then, I did some work with startups, sold my startup in 2002. And for the last 20 years, I've been doing some work in education in rural India. So that's my focus. Our organization is called Hippocampus.
Poojan Patel. Also, you already introduced yourself, Poojan. K.S. Rao.
Hello.
K.S. Rao.
Yeah. Hello. I am Shashi Rao. I am from a BTech from BTech Chemical Engineering 1969 batch, MTech in Industrial Management 1971 batch, and then I have done a long corporate career with many companies, including Larsen & Toubro, BASF, and Ciba Geigy Group. And then, of course, I retired, and then I also developed a second career in teaching and training. I'm very glad to be part of this group.
Tamaswati, the CEO of the Incubation Cell.
I think I've been introduced already. Hi everyone, I'm Tamaswati.
Okay, I think I've got everyone, but is there anyone that I missed out?
I think John.
John, we did right in the beginning. Was the first one.
Oh, okay.
All right. Naga, should I just kind of do an introductory presentation or want?
I think Professor Nag wanted to just provide some context. Professor Nag?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just take a second. So great to see all of you. By the way, I just want to let you know that this session is being recorded so that we can share it with people who are not able to call in today. I hope that's okay. And so when Ashok called me and said he wanted me to help form this council, it was great. I mean, it gave me a chance to kind of get back to my roots, so to speak. And the way we have put this council together, you'll see that it's a mix. It's not all entrepreneurs, obviously. In fact, we were trying to mainly focus on bringing in alumni who could serve as the nuclei for interactions within the batch. So I think many of you have what I would call our batch activists. You know, you have strong networks, and you'll be able to bring in your batchmates as needed. Because as you will see when Ashok makes his presentation, this 10x strategy that he has embarked on for Research Park is going to, I think, need a lot of assistance, a lot of support, a lot of inputs from many people in our alumni base. So think of yourselves not only as individuals who are going to be part of this council, but as representatives of your class. So what we are hoping is that you will be the catalyst to kind of activate your batchmates to providing the support that this effort requires. So with that, I will hand it over to Ashok.
Yeah, thank you. What I will do is that I will run you through a presentation and then talk about the objective of this council and what we may want to do. But very quickly, I'll run through a presentation. You can interrupt me and ask me questions. I've titled it as Lessons from IITs and IITs, and it's not just IIT Madras, and IITMRP Journey and India's Future Challenges. Basically, my talk starts with a conversation that I had with that at the time of how did IITs get formed and how did IITMRP evolve? What was the logic? And I start with that at the time of independence, India had practically no technological base, and it needed rapid development of new technologies. And it is then in 1950s, 5 IITs were created, and I'm quoting from the actual resolution, as cornerstone in building the industrial, scientific and technological edifice of the nation. This was put as a counter to the fact that during colonial rule, much of the industrial, scientific and technological edifice was destroyed, and therefore IITs were supposed to be creating that. In the first resolution itself, there are a few things that were talked about IITs. They should be fully autonomous institutions, and they are by and large stayed as autonomous, supported by some of the best international universities to begin with, fully funded by the government of India, much higher than other institutions, but quality was to be the hallmark. So if you remember, see, both fully funded and fully autonomous. I think both were very, very key. Now, the question is, what did IIT do? Well, it did perform well. By 1970s, these IITs were built a strong undergraduate program which could compete with the best in the world. Their UG graduates would soon lead academia as well as industry in the United States, and many of you are kind of representative of that. What actually happened in the 80s is less well known. Actually, in 1980s, IIT had high quality master's graduate who would soon after, in 80s and 90s, don leadership of become CXOs of industries all over India. You go to even a smallest town, a decent sized industry is there, you will find one of the CXO comes from IIT. And also, of course, they set the base for IT industry growth in the country. So this happened starting in 80s. We created very high quality master's program. And by 90s, the PhD became the lead. We've created very strong PhD program, and our PhDs became the lead faculty in large number of private engineering colleges. The private engineering colleges today produce 1 million engineering graduates a year, and any good institution you will find a few faculty from IITs. These young graduates helped India grow its industry post-liberalization because we needed numbers. After liberalization, particularly in mid-90s and mid of 2000, we required numbers, and actually they provided the numbers. And also we found that the faculty started publishing in quality papers in international journals. IITs were evolving, but still not cornerstone in building the industrial, scientific, and technological edifice of the nation. Excuse me, if there is someone speaking, can you put yourself on mute? Request yourself to put yourself in mute so that. But IITs were evolving, but still not cornerstone in building the industrial, scientific, and technological edifice of the nation. Indian industry was still importing most of the technologies, even as it was adopting adapting technologies from Indian markets, and using some local low raw materials and subsystems. This was the situation till around end of 90s. By the turn of the millennium, IIT started thinking about technology development and commercialization. It started earlier, but this is where it really became somewhat big. And basically the talk about industry academia collaboration started, and creating startups when industry was not willing to take enough risk associated with innovative breakthrough technologies. This thinking started in late 90s, early part of the 2000s. And it is here in late, we took initiative saying that we need to create something different. And we started thinking in 1998, by 2008 or so, we started building this research park. Understanding that innovation thrives when faculty, industry persons, and youngsters interact in a formal and informal environment. We recognize that the faculty brought in a width of the knowledge. Industry person had experience to convert prototypes to products, and youngsters basically did not know that it cannot be done. So that it cannot be done, they did not know. Therefore, that can-do spirit, these three together actually enabled the IITM Research Park to flourish. We'll talk more about it. And also at the same time, that recognize that established industry is risk averse and therefore not willing to take up totally new breakthrough technology. Startups, on the other hand, drives innovation 18 hours a day. IITM created IITM Incubation Cell and Rural Technology and Business Incubator and MedTechs and Bioincubators. So basically all of that became part of IITMRP. So IITMRP and IITMIC, the parent incubator, basically became IITMRP, and you see a picture of IITMRP. Those of you who have not visited should visit us. Now, from the day one, it was envisaged that IITMRP will be financially independent. We got zero money from IIT Madras. We got some money from Indian government, a little bit from Alumni. We got seed money, essentially, like a startup. We borrowed 400 crore rupees from banks. So we built a 500 crore rupees infrastructure. It took us 10, 12 years. We took it at about 11% interest to begin with. We have paid the loan back with interest. And we now generate 60 plus crore rupees per year cash profit every year. At the same time, IITM Incubation Cell and RTBIs, which were created, RTBI was created 2007 or 6, IITM Incubation Cell was created 2011, basically became financially sustainable. Again, we started with only a few crore rupees of grant here and there. But after that, we created 300 plus companies. Neither IITMRP nor IITMIC or RTBI gets any government funds or any funds from anywhere, even from industry. We created 300 plus companies. The public value of these companies is 38,000 crores. And we own shares worth about 100 crores, a little more than 100 crores. Probably today's share value will be more like 200 crores. And these are public valuation. And both Incubation Cell and RP are board-driven companies with prominent industrialists, 12 industrialists, and a few faculty, full autonomy from the government and IITM administration, independent committees with external members for seed fundings and loan. This is the history. Now, what basically happened is just before COVID, in 2020, the board met and recognized that now we are financially independent. And board members basically say, particularly the industrial board members led by Murugappan, Chris Gopalakrishnan, Ramraj and others, basically said that when you started this, none of us believed that without taking money from government or from industry, one can build something like that. We recognized this as an impossible task. But over the last 10, 12 years, you have shown that the impossible can become possible. So basically, they challenged us and said that, yes, the original mission that IITs are to create industrial, scientific, and technological edifice of the state nation, that has not happened. It is still weak. India still largely import technology. We are not known to be technology leader in the field. And therefore, they helped us conceive of a program now called 10X programs. Essentially, they gave us goals and said that by 2030, 2031, go and meet the goals. How you meet them is your problems. These are impossible tasks. Take up impossible goals and just do it, not just for IIT, but for the nation. This is what the 10X program background is. The first goal they told us was this, that so right now you're incubating about 45, 50 incubations per year. That doesn't take India very far, though you have done very well in the incubation, but that's not enough. You need to incubate 1,000 startups per year. Now, how do you go from 50 to 1,000 startups? Basically, the answer was go to 50 to 100 campuses in tier 2, tier 3 towns and enable our ecosystem to emerge as a natural leader driving incubation, bring them here and lead them. Now, over the last 12 years, as I pointed out, we have 305 startups. The value is 38,000 crores. And in many, many cases, for example, there are situations like in Medibuddy, we started with the investment of 4,000 rupees. We exited at a 14 crore rupees investment. GUI, we started with the investment of 5,500 crore rupees and we exited with 4.28 crore rupees. With Unifor, we started in 10,000 rupees in 2010. We exited at 11.5 crore rupees. And this is what we are asked, can you actually replicate it all over? Now, what made the incubator successful? A fairly deep process. We go to a university and first start by creating excitement amongst youngsters, by creating talks by young entrepreneurs, experiential talks of how successful enterprise built in university, such that basically entrepreneurship becomes another career option other than taking up jobs and going for higher studies. We hold innovation challenges, hackathons, competitions. I want to point out that all these will create excitement, but they play a minor role in creating successful startup. We recognize that very clearly, and we therefore sort of said the next step has to be create a culture of making and building things that work. Essentially a Lego model. When a Lego is given to a child or a Meccano is given to a child plays, enjoys, learns. Essentially, we believed that we need to create build club in each of these institutions, as against attending classes, doing routine lab assignments, actually build something. And we created Center for Build Clubs and domain-specific clubs. And these clubs have to be run by the students with no faculty supervision, and they build things. And we essentially get them started. And after they do that, then very often they come to you saying that we like to create a startup. And that's a time a hard task starts. A reality check, a screening, assess founders, commitment, ability to take risk, build products, assess market, build team, manage cash flow, ability to learn from failures. Essentially, we do a very strong pushback. We actually bring down this excitement and ask hard questions. We point out that entrepreneurship is a very difficult career option and you are more likely to fail. And it is a fail and get up, again fail, again get up. It is that which is going to result into successful startups. And then we create a program which actually nurtures and monitors the company company, we do a very fairly strong nurturing to begin with. And after some time, basically, once the child grows up, we essentially leave them. So this is the process we did at IIT Madras, and it is this which has actually resulted. So the numbers that I pointed out, that we created 305 startups. One of the interesting thing about that 82% of these companies continue to survive even after a long number of years. And this is what we felt, that this pushback that we do and nurturing that we do actually make things happen. And we actually, it is much more than this. So we can separately talk about it. This was the goal number one. From 50 goes to 1,000 startup per year. Goal number two basically said, people said that there are very few products where R&D is done in India, and it becomes a scaled commercialization, something that becomes 1,000 crore rupees revenue product per product. And therefore, the goal was find 25 to 30 products where R&D is largely carried out in India and take it to 1,000 crore rupees. And do whatever is required. And we have looked at some of the early companies, and we are starting to actually nurture them and figure them out how to take them to 1,000 crore rupees revenue. There is a goal number three. Goal number three is basically a making of we call it a making of a rancho. Basically, some of our board members pointed out that most Indian industries do not have people, technical people, who are in the top 2 to 3%, 1 to 2% in the world. And basically a goal that was given to Research Park, that create 500 ranchos, the people who are the top 2% technologists in the world globally, every year. By 2031, create 500 of them. So idea today we hire about 1,200 employees, is going to grow up to 2,500 employees in this system. Essentially build them up to be the best technologists in the world by motivating them, getting them to work very hard, getting them to enroll for part-time masters and PhD, and encouraging them. We actually have done this at a small scale. Idea was to actually do that at scale. And basically we have 1 million engineering graduate, largely theory-based curriculum does not equip them with experience. Here the Build Lab helps them, and then we carefully design, curated, build it yourself, and then we carry out the program to move them towards becoming a rancho. And that's a goal number 3 that was given to us. There was yet another goal, and this goal had a subdivision. Basically, we're told that select 5 areas, any 5 areas, and make India amongst the leaders in those 5 areas. Let India, by 2031 or so, let India be known at among the top 1, 2, 3, 4 in those 5 areas. And we started by first taking that technologies towards 100% renewable energy, net zero. And what we started looking at, every technology that is required over the next 10 to 15 years. And we started mapping where are we in each of them. What is the commercial viability of each of these technology? Objective is do fundamental R&D, but take each of these technology to commercial viability, and so that they can scale. Initially, maybe with a little bit of support, but gradually without support. We have started identifying and actually focusing on each of these, what can be done at IIT Madras, what can be done at any other institute or any other R&D lab, and how do you work with industry to actually carry this forward. This is a full presentation in itself. I'm not going to talk more about it, but basically introducing this. The goal number 2 for the mission impossible possible is that there are almost 2 billion people who need one assistive product by 2030 in the world, and many will need 2 or more. Today, only 1 in 10 people in need have the required access to assistive technology. Basically, the goal was let India become the leader in assistive technology among the top 3 people. And we essentially are looking at creating awareness about it, creating excitement about it, hackathons, build up projects. Then we are looking at startups. We are looking at scaling startups. And we already have some very, very good products, actually carrying out R&D for the difficult problem and carrying out the policy advocacy to essentially see that India become, our aim is that by 2030, 31, we should have 50,000 engineers working on assistive technology. The goal number 3 for Mission Possible Impossible is FinTech for inclusion. Now, what is this FinTech for inclusion? FinTech, everyone understands, but basically FinTech for people with low incomes, incomes less than 25,000 rupees per month, household income less than 25,000 rupees per month. By the way, 80 to 85% of India's household belong to this category. And we have a fairly large ecosystem already at IIT Madras Research Park, starting from IFMR, converting into Dwara Holdings, Northern Arc, KGFS, Kaleidofin, Samunnati, Stellapps, Kiwi, and Setu, Western Villages, Agami, Northern Arc. These companies already exist, and we are working on how do you take them to work for very small business and micro business and for households with incomes less than 25,000 rupees and actually get them to scale up. This is the goal number 3. And the fourth area that we have chosen for Mission Impossible Possible is to become a leader in motors and controllers, very specifically in motors and controllers. Electrical motors today consume 46 to 50% of global energy consumption, and greater than 90% of them are suboptimal in energy efficiency. Recognizing that recognizing that 1 billion appliances are used in India, which consume greater than 1 billion kilowatt hour per day. And we buy greater than 150 million appliances every year with electric motors. Migration to PMSM motor itself will save huge amount of energy. And these PMSM motors from the current induction motor in fans, coolers, mixer grinder, vacuum cleaners, air conditioner, refrigerator, washing machine, dishwasher on one side. And then on electric vehicles, 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers, then motors and controllers in pumps, service robots, vertical axis wind turbine. We believe that all these areas need to be attended to, and we want to become the leader in the motor and controller technology. This is the latest area which is not even board approved, but we have actually come up with this in last few weeks. So 4 of the 5 areas for Mission Impossible we have selected. 5th area we have not yet been able to choose. We will choose it going forward, but this is essentially the 10X program. This is my last slide before I open it up. A question that has often been asked, that can IITMRP IC achieve this 10X goal by the year 2030-31? Basically, if you look at these goals, these are India goals. These are not IIT Madras goals. This is what India requires. And therefore, India has no other option but to achieve these goals. It has talent and market size. What it needs is somebody to drive that. And IITMRP and IITMIC probably are in the best position in the country to drive this. Leveraging IITM and its associates, its alumni of IITs, ISC, and IIMs. This is what we believe can be done and should be done, and this is what we are trying to do. And these are some of the experiments of the building clubs we keep doing, but anyway, I don't want to present that. I want to stop by actually unsharing the slides and get on to our discussion, questions and answers. This is what we are doing, and this is the 10X program. And it is in this context of 10X program that we have created this advisory committee, essentially saying that if we have to achieve what we have set out to achieve, we essentially need help from our alumni. We are not seeking financial assistance from alumni. We are not looking for donations and grants. We are actually seeing wherever you can connect people, wherever you can help, wherever any of the alumni can help us move further on these goals. We will share this widely, and we want, that is the purpose of the Alumni Council. I think I thought that we can actually now open for discussion, questions, answers.
Can I ask the first question? You were very clear that you want alumni help, not funding. That's fine. But do you have an estimate of, in this very ambitious goals you set out, which by the way are amazing, they're great. Do you have an estimate of what is the required capital, and do you have access to that capital?
I think we can raise capital. I don't see capital is a problem. I think we can raise capital because much of what we are trying to do, I right in the beginning, I pointed out, see, remember that we did not build Research Park by trying to raise grants either from the government or from the alumni. We never came to you. We built this up, and we have built it. Today we are very strong, both our incubation cell as well as this. So we believe that we can do it again. Money, when required, we can raise it. Alumni, sure, alumni will always contribute and all that. We are not creating this council for alumni to give us donation. What we want is individually or their companies or people to participate in some program or another, help wherever one can, maybe in small way or large way. We will like many alumni to visit us and spend time at the Research Park whenever they come. We want, whenever you come to IIT Madras, you spend half a day with Research Park. We'll host you, we will take you around and get you to meet people. Let individual alumni, the objective of this council is to spread the word. Let individual alumni say, I can help you in this, or I can help you in this. Once they start corresponding with us, we will figure out what can be done. And this is a very quickly, I did not want to take too much time, so I've done only a 20 minutes presentation, deliberately cut short. We can get into more details for those who are interested. We have some many more interesting work that we are trying to do, Prabhakar. Next time when you come, spend some time, you will see that some of the very ambitious projects we are taking up. Almost looks like every few days you get a great idea, and we want to see, because I think technology-wise, we are capable. We can assemble large teams and we can deliver with young people. We deliver with young people.
There's a question from Shubha Kumar, sir.
Yeah, please.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, the lighting is a little poor. My question is, so I think it's a fabulous initiative and a goal to have. Question is, would this be applicable only for companies that are being incubated in the research park, or can later stage companies or mature companies looking to pursue interest in any of these thrust areas can participate, and if so, how could that be done, Professor?
So only goal number 1 is specific to incubation. The other 2, 3, 4 have really nothing to do with incubation. Oh, well, actually goal number 3, the rancho, also will be applicable to only those who are in the research park. There are about 120 companies which are not incubated by IIT Madras incubation cell. They are there in the research park.
Got it.
But even those who are outside, if they have created some very nice product and we think that it's the India R&D product, if we can take it to 1,000 crore rupees revenue, we like to help. We like to examine.
Okay, perfect.
And in the mission possible, impossible goals, whether it's a net zero or assistive technology, there will be companies from all over the country.
Okay, got it. So it's not specific to this geography or this location. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Rahul?
Even the incubation, sorry, 1 second. Even the incubation, we have incubations from all over the country. Many, it is not only 57% of our incubated companies are from people who had nothing to do with IITM. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Thank
Now,
you, sir.
Congratulations, Professor, on the bold goals. Question I had was about how to enable us to successfully achieve this. Having some experience developing technologies for the developing world. At least a couple of the domains mentioned, assistive technologies as well as inclusive fintech. Some of the biggest challenges are actually in market development. What's the internal thinking at the research park in really unblocking those bottlenecks on developing the market?
So basically, our objective will be wherever we see weakness, we will pitch in. We cannot do it, we'll get Rahul Parikar to come and help. So objective, we are enabler. We are very clear. We will find the right person. In fact, I could have presented that the incubator success that we have, very significantly, it owes to our mentors. And many of our mentors are IITM alumni. Not all, but many of them are. Without that, we will not be able to have succeeded. So we are very clear that it is up to us to find help.
Thank you.
Ravi?
Hey, hi. So I think one question I had is, if I was to go back to my batch and what is there something canned that I can take to them and say, hey, this is what is happening. Those of you who are interested, get in touch with me, kind of thing. Are we at that point yet, or?
Yes. You can first just the presentation that I made. A video of that will be sent to you. A link will be sent to you. That may be a good beginning to. But we have detailed. Our website is very rich. Rima will point out it has details of each of our effort, and so that can also be shared. And then individual questions can be thrown. Any individual wants to say that I want to help in this or I want to participate in this, we'll be very, very happy.
And they will expect, so they can expect that somebody will get in touch and kind of
Yes.
them.
Once they write, in fact, I am writing my email ID. They can write to my email, or they can write to Tamaswati, Jaya, or Rima. But I will share mine. There is so we will specifically create a page on our research park website on this council, and we will give you all the information.
Okay.
Mahadevan sir?
Mahadevan sir.
Sir, may I make a comment here?
Yes.
Okay. I just thought that maybe I should mention that, a small group of us alumni, we are working closely with the incubation cell and with the mentoring and such initiatives. There are two areas where, those of you who are interested, and we need, I think that's a strong support from you in two areas. One is that those who can devote some time and sharing their expertise and helping, guiding some of the startups, again, through Jaya, if you can indicate your interest. We want to scale up the number of people who are participating in the mentoring activity. The second area is there is an initiative called Market Bridge. Those who cannot regularly spend continuous time, but who have certain industry contacts and can help in taking the product to the market, or even giving ideas or giving contacts, please register your name with Jaya, so that maybe we can create another meeting to explore, how quickly you can get on board and then start helping the startups. All these are essential to prepare ourselves to scale up to 1,000 startup kind of situation where we can scale up all the supporting mechanism for handling larger number of companies.
Thank you, Vishi. Ram Mahadevan.
Thank you, Professor, for a very clear and comprehensive presentation on the IIT Madras Research Park and the incubation cell. A couple of points I would like to make. One is, one of the challenges that you had mentioned was to increase the startups from 50 to 1,000, and which you mentioned could be done by creating an ecosystem of many such incubation cells. You yourself being promoter of incubation cells elsewhere. Is there a system in place? I mean, which will make
yes, sir. We have already tied up with 15 universities and colleges in tier 2, tier 3 towns. We are already doing that. Some of that Build Club thing that I showed you in the last slide was from these different colleges. We have a system of screening the colleges, figuring it out, partnering with them, and work is going on.
Excellent. If you can share that information, or if I can access somebody where I can find out the system that is being deployed. I am on the board of some of the educational societies and which run colleges and educational institutions, and I might tell them that get in touch with so-and-so in IIT and see whether you can create an incubation cell in the same model.
Will you do that? Can connect with Ram?
Sure. I'll do that. Martin, sir, I will get in touch with you.
Excellent. Okay. The next point I want to make is, Vishy did mention about mentoring. I was a mentor to Aether Energy. I know I have a very strong feeling that mentoring in the initial stages of the struggle is a great help to them. Small things that they struggle to do. If a man with some experience of how to go about building a business can give them ideas, it is a great help. So my suggestion would be, I'm sure Professor is already doing that because he was the one who initiated this in the first place, but it can be also, Vishy is aware of this, this can be a very important step in increasing the startups.
Sure, sir. Sure.
The other thing that I want to mention, only the last point is, you mentioned motors and controllers. I cannot agree with you more. It is such an important area, and that is an impossible possible area that you have mentioned. I myself have created an advanced engineering group in the group of companies Amalgamations who are working on this very project. And I would like to ask my team to come and meet your team sometime and see whether we can collaborate together.
Good. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
If you can mention one single window person who can
myself.
Yourself. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
At tenet.rest on it.
Thank you.
Paras Bala, sir.
Yeah, thank you. There are two ideas that I want to bring to this table, which are born out of experience in dealing with similar situations. One is at Purdue, with whom through alumni activities and others, I have been engaged in similar activities for 2 decades. One of the success factors there contributing to this is a cell called Office of Technology Commercialization, OTC. This acts as a bridge between all the inventions that are taking place in the campus. The inventions take place because professors are collaborating with industries in the region. And multiple technology innovations are coming up. But at the end of the day, you need a specialist cell like OTC, which first and foremost builds the bridge between the innovation and its potential in the marketplace. So assessment of what kind of product can emerge out of this invention, which will be of value to the market. If so, what is the market segmentation? And how do you put together an ecosystem to make it happen? All of that happen in OTC. So I would suggest that if you already have one in Research Park, that's fine. Otherwise, we need to create a very strong OTC kind of enabler system. Within
IIT Madras has ICNSR, Industrial Consultancy and Sponsor Research. So there they have a commercialization. I don't think my own, I've been in IIT teaching now for 42 years. I don't think that directly technology coming out from IIT Madras can be easily commercialized. It requires further work, and along with industry or with the incubation. This is exactly what we do at the research park. We either take it to work with industry and take it, that work goes on, or we actually take it through the incubation cell and commercialize. Both these approaches has been the key to our success. Please visit us and you will see what has been going on.
I leave the thought on the table because I am aware of the applied research that is required to be taken. But now that you're talking about 10x scale, you want to reach out to 100 universities in this country, which are nowhere near IIT in terms of their research competence. Much of the work they do, I sit on 3 boards, 3 college boards in this country, and the gap between them and IIT is very vast, not only in terms of their research competence, but also in terms of having a grasp on what can be taken as a innovative product, successful product to the marketplace. So the OTC that I'm talking about is not for IITM Research Park for the inventions taking place within IIT Madras. It is for the 10x goal. So please, I will leave it on the table. The second one is, we all talked about each one of us being an ambassador, reaching out to the rest of the batchmates. We have attempted to do this in another initiative at IIT Madras called AquaMap. AquaMap, we have set up an alumni engagement model whereby alumni interested in water, technology aspect, policy aspect, management aspect can sign up for a role appropriate to their competence as well as time availability, etc. So I will urge that take a look at the alumni engagement model and see how it can be tailored to meet the requirements of this 10x goal at RP. And we need that kind of a system to facilitate each one of us reaching out.
Since you are in India, please visit us and we can discuss this in detail.
So I'll leave these 2 thoughts.
When you visit us, you will see what is already getting done. What I could present was in a very short.
If it already exists, can I request for some documents being sent to us so that even if I will visit when time permits. But meanwhile, if documents can be shared, I can start looking at it and sharing thoughts and helping to move this thought forward.
Shiv Kumar sir, do you want to ask your question to Professor?
Hi. Yeah, I was just suggesting, would it be interesting for this organization to also drive some open initiatives, right? So such as, certainly there's open source and other things, but there could be open initiatives at the intersection of hardware and software or across disciplines. I think those haven't been done quite a lot. There are some specific areas that touch software. I'm aware of, like open digital twins and so on. I just wanted to suggest that perhaps as part of the public goods that you could offer to, again, spur the ecosystem along.
So there is a fairly large initiative already in India. I mean, from there, even things like the fintech came up and the whole marketplace is being open. Since open source is a fairly strong initiative, we'll basically get them to do it. Research Park doesn't have particular competence in doing that. If some faculty member at IIT Madras wants to take the initiative, we'll help. But Research Park itself doesn't take that.
Good. Thank you.
Can I?
Yeah, Jitin was already there. Jitin, would you like to ask a question, please? And then,
no, I'm good. Ravi asked my question in a different question. Okay.
Sure. Lalit sir.
Hi, Professor Jhunjhunwala, I want to congratulate you on this vision. I think it's fantastic. Since we are coming close to 12 o'clock, I want to say I will be in India 2 or 3 times a year, and I'll be happy to spend some time in IIT Madras. And I think at least 2 of the 4 topics that you have, I should be able to contribute and help. So, and I'll be happy to tell other people also to contribute.
Thank you. Please connect with me, Lalit.
Happy to.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think those are the questions, Professor.
Any other
That's all the
comments?
questions.
One other thing that we like, if possible, send the link of this presentation to your classmates. And anybody is visiting, encourage them to visit Research Park in addition to IIT Madras. If they visit Research Park, the rest we'll do. I know Preeti is smiling. Preeti hasn't come to Research Park.
So the 1980 group has a WhatsApp for the group. I'll be happy to put a link right there so everybody can access that.
Thank you. Thank you. This is exactly what we want. And also request them, please visit Research Park. And I request each of you to also visit Research Park when possible.
Thank you, Professor.
So
Any
Jaya,
other
it may be worthwhile setting up a WhatsApp group for the council so that we can easily share information.
Yeah, that may be a good idea.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sure.
Ashok, as always, your enthusiasm and energy is very inspiring. Congratulations for this.
Thank you, Mesh.
Dr. Ashok, I had a request. I've been hearing everybody. I've been trying to figure out what could the actionables be for this group out here. Right? One is sharing on WhatsApp and sending it, talking about it. But is there something which you had specifically in mind which we could all do? Where we are the 100x to take it to our groups, right? So is there something which you had specifically in mind which you think we could trigger an actionize, or is just an introductory meeting and the idea float right now?
No, so the point is, I want each of you to visit Research Park.
Sure. That's an easy one.
Yeah. So as a group, I don't expect this council to do something. We can discuss and give us comments and things like that. And maybe if you can suggest in the next meeting, we'll plan to have only 2 meetings a year. We can take that up. But as a group, that's pretty much it. What we like to do is connect with individuals. Suddenly you'll find, Umesh, you are very good at this, you know this, you will connect. So we want that connect, and we will see, we are looking for individuals to connect and get associated with some activity or other.
Okay.
Yeah, I think as a group, the primary thing is talk a little bit about Research Park and say, please visit. Whenever your class visits us, please decide to spend half a day with us. We'll host you, we'll take you around, discuss, so that's the best way to get your people to understand.
Okay.
Any other question, comments?
No, it's clear.
Ashok, there's just one other point I wanted to bring up. Following up on what Bala was saying about Purdue University, I've also been spending quite a bit of time here over the last couple of years. And I think Purdue has done a great job in terms of developing its own entrepreneurship ecosystem. They have what they call an innovation village. I mean, basically providing everything that an innovator would want so that they never even have to move out of that. I mean, they even provide schooling and housing and everything. So it's a completely supportive ecosystem that helps, I think, innovators thrive. And an important part of that is strong support, I think, from the city and the state. And I think that's something that we also need to, I think, drive towards, wherever we initiate this 10x activity. So do you have some ideas on how that can be?
Basically, I call that as 100x. Basically, get it 100 times bigger. In fact, we have sent a proposal to government of Tamil Nadu to basically create a 1,000 acre tech city and we said we can take the initiative. Some discussion is going on, but finally, when it comes to the government, it is not something that we can control. Any other comment? Rima has joined only now in the end. Rima is our market and brand person and will be happy to connect with you. She also holds the website. Our website has all this information, so she will send all the details to you.
Hello. Can I say something that's pretty obvious, please, Ashok? The technologies that you're talking about, they're extraordinarily relevant to developed economies also. You're talking about net zero, you're talking about assistive technologies. You know, we are a geriatric society here in Pittsburgh. There are enormous opportunities. You know that, you visited us so often. So I think with all the connections that you have globally, some of the markets that we have here will be more accessible, I think, sometimes than maybe the Indian markets, because the purchasing capacity is there. And I remember my very first conversation with you, where you talked about the stimulus that the price point pressures create in terms of technology development in India, which creates enormous opportunities, I think, for applications in the West. So I think thinking of these global markets and the developed markets is something that your entrepreneurs could be made aware of. And I think your council here, people like Lalit Cordia, in Pittsburgh, we have about half a dozen IIT alumni who are real mafia and a power source here. We can, I think, be engaged in terms of providing access to these markets.
In fact, many of our companies already are accessing world market. We will connect, for example, and we will certainly send more details to you once WhatsApp group is created. Tell you that this company would like to access, for example, right now, Detect is a company which we believe is an absolutely fantastic company. Planis is another company which is an absolutely fantastic company. We'll send you details of this and say, can you help them connect to different people in the West or wherever you are? Some of you are in India. Can you connect them to the Indian corporates? We'll certainly like to occasionally send you some WhatsApp. WhatsApp may be a very good way of connecting you.
Will do.
Any other comment anybody else wants to? Girija, you want to have some comment? Yes,
at this point, not really. I think I've already written to you about this, saying that my batch is already represented in this group more than 12. So it's not really about my batch, which I will also attempt to do, but it's also about, I represent the government side. A person who has 40 years in the government can at least think from a government perspective. So some of the issues that will come up might involve how to crack government. So I am a person who not only is from IIT, but refuses to leave IIT. So I hang around there all the time. Been to IIT research park more than once, but I will come again and I will spend time specifically brainstorming with you on what you would like me to do.
Yeah,
at this stage, I'm very happy to meet this entire group. It's been quite a, what should I say, invigorating kind of session where we understand all the people who are involved in this. So I will come down once and spend time with your team also and to see what I could specifically do, since I am here in the state.
Sumit, you are saying?
Professor, yes. I visited the research park maybe 3 months after I moved back to India in 2012 and never went back. Part of the reason was the lack of intersection between what was happening there and what I was doing and how my company was looking at things. But in this context, I was asking who's the point of contact, and I feel given the number of people, there should be sort of a go-to person for each of the goals or the type of industry, because I polled, in preparation for this, I sent a message to the 91 WhatsApp group with the document that was shared saying this is what is the plan, this is the 10X, and critters, zero discussion, because everyone is trying to figure out okay, what does it mean to me? How do I get involved? So I feel that when we have these goals, for each of those goals, if there's a point of contact, I will encourage people to go to the research park. I think it's a good idea because it's through their personal connections we can create something. But for them, like everyone, we go to campus, we see what we already know, we don't make new connections. So having that list of people or a group of people, reach out to them, they'll put you in touch. Each one of you is very busy. If I want to reach you the day we want, it's tough. So it'll help to have a group of people.
Okay. So two, I understand that each of these initiatives has a leader. We will send you a list of the email address of the person who is leader of each of these initiatives.
That would help, yes.
I also want to sort of say that in spite of that, if anybody wants to ask any question, if they write to me, 100% you'll get a reply to the email.
Okay.
There's not a single email which I do not answer.
Thank you. Yeah.
Any other comment? I think it's 9:40, so we will like to wind up. Anybody wants to make any comment? Preeti?
Looks like I really need to visit because I need to see what the scope of the thing is. When you were presenting, I was, of course, the renewable energy goals are very timely and very much needed. But the thing that I was relating most to was accessibility, and particularly as it relates to what I do and what I know is vision accessibility for people who are losing vision as they grow older. And I had thoughts about that, but I think it would probably be more appropriate for me to discuss those after I've seen what's going on and figure out how you make this research incubation center connection when the parties might not be in the same place.
Yeah, sure. So we understand that. I think we have a assistive technology leadership. Vision is certainly a very important area. We'd like to connect with you.
I have one more point. The goal has been set as 10x, and the numerical goals have been set for 2030. We are already in 2023. So we know the goals. Is there a roadmap to reach there from where we are to?
Yeah. So there are detailed presentations about each area, where we are and where do you want to go through. We can, if those who are interested in a specific area, we can certainly make that presentation. There is a group leader for each of the area, and each of the area, by the way, 2031 is what our goal is. 2030 has been loosely kind of set, 2031. So we have a goal. What are we going to do year after year over the 8 years?
So the roadmap exists.
Roadmap exists. Some, like motors and controllers, it doesn't, because we're just taking it up. For most of the areas, there is already roadmap.
Thank you. Maybe, for those interested to contribute on the roadmap assessment, they could ask for the specific
I
topic.
think those who are interested in specific area, connect to us. We'll connect to the specific people. They will share with you.
Wonderful.
Okay. Like Preeti, we'll connect her to the assistive technology and specifically on the vision. So that's the best way. I think in that case, Naga, you want to, Tama, do you want to say something?
No, Professor, I think we are good. I think we'll, as suggested, we will create the WhatsApp group, share more details with you. We will also share the video link of today's discussion as well, so that you can share it with your remaining classmates, individual classmates, And look forward to hosting most of you. And the ones who are already in Chennai, please, in India, not just Chennai, please come and visit us. And we'll be happy to spend time with you and explain through all the things. And as Professor Ashok said, we'll also send you the list of the team leads for each of the 10X.
Team leads, and also Rima, we should send them the our website,
Yes.
which has individual, for each individual TEDx goals, there is a website.
Yeah, we'll immediately create the WhatsApp group, Professor, and start sharing all these things.
Jaya, you want to add anything?
Just wanted to thank all of them for being here, Professor. And this is one rare meeting where there were more than who had come for the meeting. So we had a larger number. So that was very heartening. And yes, we'd just like to thank all of them. And I look forward to, again, interacting with them.
Rima, do you want to say something?
Nothing. Thanks everyone for joining so late and hear us out. Looking forward to work along with you all.
Naga, you want to end by?
Yeah, I want to thank all the alumni who have accepted our invitation and become part of this council. Do contact me as well if you need any information either about the research park or about IIT Madras. I'll be happy to connect you with the right people. And I look forward to driving this mission forward and being part of this effort. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and we'll disconnect now.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.